afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the latest edition of the Stephen A. Smith Show. Coming at you as I love to do every weekday afternoon when I'm not on vacation from 1 to 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time over the airwaves of Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. The number to call up, as always, is 888-MAD-DOG-6. That's 888-623-3646. The ultimate lead-in, Adam Shine, already highlighted how the great Tim Duncan has called it quits and has announced that he is retiring from the National Basketball Association. We'll get into that. I haven't been on the airways for the last few weeks, so you know I'm going to revisit Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. You know I'm going to revisit Dwayne Wade electing to go to the Chicago Bulls. You know I'm going to revisit what the New York Knicks have done or were incapable of doing. So stay tuned for all of that. Not to mention the money that's being doled out there for these brothers in this day and age. Mike Conley Jr., love him, but $153 million for Mike Conley Jr. Oh, I'm going to talk about that. Of course, I'm going to touch on all of that, but the first order of business is very, very simple. Let me dial it down because we have to embrace and be sensitive to the magnitude of the moments that we experienced over the last few days. Last week, pretty much back-to-back days, if I recall correctly, Alton Sterling, 37-year-old black man, selling CDs outside of a convenience store, held down by cops, pinned down by cops, yet somehow, some way, ended up shot to death by cops, trying to claim he was a threat to them. So because of that, he's dead. The aftermath of that, Philando Castile, 32, in a car in Minnesota with his fiancée and their 4-year-old child, reaching for his wallet at an officer's request, if I remember correctly. He ended up getting shot and killed with his child in the back seat, his fiancée right next to him. And then after that, of course, something incredibly, incredibly tragic happened. Not to say that those two things that I just mentioned weren't tragic, because clearly they are. But then you had a situation where Micah Johnson, an outraged African-American, decides that he wants to kill white people and he wants to kill the police, white police officers. And he ends up shooting approximately 13 or 14 people, most of whom were police officers, killing 5 of them. Terrible, terrible, incomprehensible tragedy of the highest order. We all know this. And from that point forward, all we heard and all we saw were folks talking about how we've got to stop the violence, we've got to come to terms with what has transpired, we've got to look at things differently, etc. Black Lives Matters and others affiliated with their cause, in support of their cause, wanted to address police brutality. Individuals like former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani goes on Fox and retorts about Black Lives Matter. It's inherently racist because, number one, it divides us. All lives matter. White lives, black lives, all lives, he told Fox News on Monday. Number two, Black Lives Matter never protests when every 14 hours somebody is killed in Chicago, probably 70 to 80% of the time by a black person. Where are they then? Where are they when a young black child is killed? Carmelo Anthony made a statement. Dwayne Wade made a statement, along with numerous other professional athletes. But before I read off what they had to say about the shootings, first let me address former New York Mayor Rudy Giuliani. not to be a hypocrite here, I've been on the airwaves and I've asked the same question that he asked of my own community. So I can't be a hypocrite. But let me tell you the difference between me and you, Mayor Rudolph Giuliani. Mr. Mayor, I brought it up to say, let's not stop with brutal acts being committed and illegal brutal acts being committed on the part of police officers. Let's not stop there. Let's make sure we address the black on black crime too. That's what I said. What Rudy Giuliani is doing is glossing over police brutality just to sit up there and bring this up. There's a difference. Why the hell can't we touch on both? Yes, there's black on black crime. Yes, it's very prevalent and pervasive in our community. Yes, there needs to be something done about it. Yes, it's intolerable. Why? Largely because most African Americans in this country are law-abiding citizens. In case y'all don't pay attention, we're the ones who put black people's behinds in jail. We call the cops. We dial 911. We serve on jury duty and put their behinds on behind bars. We do that. So how come is it you just gloss over that and act like that doesn't exist, Mr. Mayor Rudolph Giuliani? How come you just glossed over that? Who the hell do you think you are? I mean, no disrespect. Because in some respects, he was a damn good mayor. In some respects. In others, he may not have been. But this statement by him is irresponsible. It's insensitive. And I damn near want to call it racist. I mean, who the hell do you think you are? So because black on black crime gets committed, you got to use that to gloss over the fact that folks within the black community are rightly addressing acts of brutality on the part of law enforcement officials? Really? Really? How come we can't do both? How come we can't do both? How come we can't point out our problems in our community and how they need to be dealt with while at the same time still addressing this? If y'all remember, I was the guy that sat up there and said, hey, wait a minute. Black Lives Matter. How you going to boo a presidential candidate, Martin O'Malley, out of Maryland for saying all lives matter? He's white. It's a numbers game. 66% of the population is white. He's looking for votes because he was running for the presidency at the time, and he didn't want to risk alienating a larger segment of our populace. So why are you booing him when you could have called yourself Black Lives Matter too, as opposed to Black Lives Matter, period? But that was the only point that I ever made against Black Lives Matter. I applaud their cause. I applaud the attention they're trying to bring to these matters. I applaud the fact that they're not just shrugging it off and acting like these problems don't exist. And what I really, really applaud is how they've provoked actions, albeit verbiage, on the part of some of these NBA players. Let me read to you what Carmelo Anthony had to say. He wrote about this. All praise due to the Most High. Secondly, I'm all about rallying, protesting, fighting for our people. Look, I'll even lead the charge by any means necessary. We have to be smart about what we are doing. We need to steer our anger in the right direction. The system is broken, point blank, period. It has been this way forever. Martin Luther King marched, Malcolm X rebelled, Muhammad Ali literally fought for us. Our anger should be towards the system. If the system doesn't change, we will continue to turn on the TVs and see the same thing. We have to put the pressure on the people in charge in order to get this thing we call justice right. A march doesn't work. We tried that. I've tried that. A couple social media posts, tweets doesn't work either. We've all tried that. That didn't work. Shooting 11 cops and killing 5 will not work. Well, I don't have a solution, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people don't have a solution. We need to come together more than anything at this time. This is Carmelo Anthony. We need each other. These politicians have to step up and fight for change. I'm calling for all my fellow athletes to step up and take charge. Go to your local officials, leaders, congressmen, assemblymen, assemblywomen, and demand change. There's no more sitting back and being afraid of tackling and addressing political issues anymore. Those days are long gone. We have to step up and take charge. We can't worry about what endorsements we're going to lose or who's going to look at us crazy. I need your voices to be heard. We can demand change. We just have to be willing to. The time is now. I'm all in. Take charge. Take action. Demand change. Peace. Those were the words of Carmelo Anthony. And to a lesser degree, Dwayne Wade echoed those sentiments. In support of Melo's statement, Dwayne Wade said, as an athlete and as a person who has this platform, we like to sell things. We like to be on the commercials. We like to do all these things. But when things come up in life, I think you have a responsibility as a face of this world, if you believe in something, to get behind that. Ladies and gentlemen, these are things to applaud. Because Dwayne Wade just got $47 million from Chicago over the next 2 years. And he's collected over $150 million in contracts, over $175 million in contracts throughout the course of his career. Carmelo Anthony has signed contracts for in excess of $200 million in his career. Y'all ain't going broke. So the fact that they're stepping up and having courage is something I applaud, because they should always have it. Because you ain't worried about paying your bills. I absolutely applaud that. I absolutely believe they are right. I unequivocally stand with Carmelo Anthony and Dwayne Wade that something needs to be done. Not one of them, not a black person I know, condoned the shootings in Dallas. I mean, they sent the robot in with a bomb attached to him and blew the robot up and the assailant. As far as I'm concerned, if I had an opportunity to, I would have bombed him to oblivion. I ain't going to go as far as to say I wish they would have caught him and tortured his behind, but oh my God, he deserves a special kind of hell. No excuse for what he did. Period. And anybody who condones that kind of vile act, you should be thrown under a damn jail. Violence has to stop. And the reality is that unfortunately, in this day and age, if you have a platform, if you have a face, if you are a celebrity, you're actually more potent than those who are more substantive and knowledgeable than you. Which is why I always tell y'all, I don't know everything. I don't have the damn answers. I'm a conduit to lead you to those who do have the answers. You want to talk to me about black issues and issues pertaining to the African American community and what transpires? I would widely encourage all of y'all to listen to Joe Madison in the morning. Sirius XM, channel 126, Urban View. Comes on every morning from 6 to 10. And call him the Black Eagle. He is no joke. He's the real deal. Just don't get on his nerves as a caller, because he'll cuss you out now. He'll do that. But when that man spits knowledge, it's special, which is almost always. Let me take that back. Always. Karen Hunter comes on the same channel, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And if you're white, you know something, and you're conservative, and you have a different perspective, go ahead and listen to Sean Hannity. Listen to Mark Levin. I listen to both of them as well. And even though I disagree with them 50% of the time, unlike some folks, I don't consider them racist at all. They're just God-fearing Americans who happen to be ultra-conservative. They're entitled to their views. I don't hear them condoning police brutality. I hear them question whether or not it happened from a case-by-case basis, but it's not like they're condoning it. But as an African-American, and particularly if you're liberal and you have a different non-conservative point of view, Karen Hunter, Mark Thompson, Dr. Michael Eric Dyson, of course, my man Joe Madison, the Black Eagle, listen to all of them. I do. I listen to both sides. Try to educate myself as much as I possibly can. But here's the thing. Those of us, me, a sports radio talk show host, Melo and D. Wade, NBA players, some NFL players and beyond, we don't know what those who are learned, who focused on those particular issues may know. So when I'm talking about this, I'm not coming at you from a level of expertise. I'm bringing a passion and a level of sensitivity because of how heinous it is. And I'm asking you, and I'm telling you where to go to find out more facts. And these athletes are doing the same. What I love about what Melo had to say, what I love about what D-Wade had to say, at no time did they come across as gospels on the subject, as aficionados and authoritarians on a subject. What they told you was, this is what we're seeing. What we're seeing identifies with what you're seeing. Something needs to be done. Let's all come together and figure it out. Dwayne Wade ain't getting pulled over and bothered. Neither is Melo. Chances are you driving around a Bentley, nobody's going to bother you. At least most of the time. But they still took time out to show their level of sensitivity. Because I got to tell y'all, particularly when you're black, this stuff resonates, man. It broke my heart to see what happened in Dallas. But just as equally, to see the video, to see that video of Alton Sterling, to see the video of Philando Castile, victims, unquestionably victims of violence on the part of law enforcement officials. Excessive and unnecessary. Yeah, I said it. It's just utterly ridiculous. And for those of you who may not have a clue about your history, remember the riots in Newark in 1967? What about the Camden riots in 1971? What about the riots in Miami in 1980? What about the LA riots in 1992? What about the riots in Cincinnati in 2001? What do they all have in common? What about the riots in Oakland in 2009? Or Ferguson, Missouri in 2014? Or Baltimore in 2015? What do they all have in common? 1967 to 2015, and we all know what history was like before 1967. I just gave you 1967 up till the present. What do they all have in common? Answer the damn question. You know the answer, don't you? Excessive force, most times fatal, on the part of police officers. To be fair, there are police officers who have died, who have been fatally wounded in the line of duty, sometimes off duty. And maybe those numbers are larger than police brutality figures against African Americans. But you know what y'all are missing? Clearly, people who harmed police officers were criminals. Police officers, as law enforcement officials, were trying to take down. It's a risk they take, putting their lives on the line to protect and serve us, and we should honor them as greatly as we possibly can. But once again, ladies, and gentlemen, what does that have to do with police brutality on the part or against unarmed African Americans? And by the way, do y'all remember that Uber driver in Michigan? He walked around and shot like 5 or 6 different people. He got arrested and brought to court. What about that sick psycho dude who killed 9 folks in a church in South Carolina last year? Not only did they pick him up, but if I recall, officers took him to a McDonald's or a Burger King to get something to eat. So his day of justice shall come. But somehow, some way, when it comes to young black men, at least in a few cases, which is far too many, they don't even get to that point. One cop's got his knee on a dude's head while the other cop is on a guy's waist, and you still find an excuse to shoot him. Another guy's pulling out his wallet while his 4-year-old child is in the back seat and his fiance is in the car. And he gets shot. Y'all don't see the discrepancy? You just think Mello and D Wade and guys like that are making it up? Think about it and get back to me. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. This 888-623-3646. This is Stephen A. Fresh off vacation, live on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Smooth-tastic. Soft-sational.
The Stephen A. Smith Show on Mad Dog Sports Radio.
Yeah.
25 minutes past hour number 1, back here in the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. I can't even tell y'all how ticked off I am that I have to come and talk about this. Because to be quite honest with you, I was on vacation and I wanted to talk about Kevin Durant so bad, I actually did a Facebook Live post that nearly 9 million people saw. Because when Kevin Durant decided to go to the Golden State Warriors, I went off. And the thing about it is, once again, I get misquoted and my comments misconstrued. Oh, Stephen A. hating on Kevin Durant because he left OKC. No, that would be Reggie Miller, who didn't want him to leave OKC. That would be Charles Barkley, who didn't want him to leave OKC. I had a different take. My position is clear. I only have one issue with Kevin Durant leaving OKC. It's that he went to Warriors. That's it. Any team but them. Any team but them. Why? Because you were up 3-1 on them. You playing for a championship contender. You're the superstar on that championship contender, which means that this team is legitimately competing for the title against the Golden State Warriors. You are up 3-1 on them. You lose game 5. You choked in game 6. You lose game 7. And then you join them? To me, that's like Dr. J or Isaiah joining the Celtics. It's like Magic Johnson. I'm sorry. It's like Michael Jordan joining the Pistons. Not to the team that beat you. Anybody but them. That's all. Nothing else. I had no other problem with Kevin Durant leaving OKC. As far as I'm concerned, OKC had its chances. I have profound respect for Sam Presti and the Oklahoma City Thunder organization. But you held a hard, firm line. You could have gave James Harden $4 more million. He'd have stayed in OKC back in the day. Lose Reggie Jackson. Trade away Serge Ibaka. And those weren't the only ones. Don't want to trigger the luxury tax even though you got a billionaire owner. All of this other stuff. I don't blame Kevin Durant for leaving OKC. He gave him 9 years. Average a career 27 points per game. Perennial all-star. League MVP. One of the top 3 players on the planet. He doesn't owe OKC anything. Nothing. But you gonna go and join Steph Curry? And Klay Thompson, them really? I don't blame the Golden State Warriors for going there. Joe Lakers is a fantastic owner. Steve Kerr has proven to be a fantastic coach. Didn't have a great game 7, but doesn't take away from the fact that he's a fantastic coach. Steph Curry didn't have a great game 7 either. Still a reigning 2-time league MVP, and he's a superstar. Klay Thompson's reigning 3-point champion, one of the greatest shooters we've ever seen as well. My only point is, why go there? Go beat them. Anywhere else to beat them. That's me. But that's what I wanted to talk about. Not some damn shootings. My heart goes out to the family members of those police officers. I saw one of the police officers' fathers on TV. My heart went out to him losing a son this way. God. Nobody's condoning that. That guy who killed them police officers, that black bastard that he is, I hope he rots in hell. He don't deserve any sympathy from anybody. Plain and simple. But those police officers that shot Alton Sterling and Philando Castile, don't come to me talking about we need to hear more evidence. We need to see more facts. We saw the damn video. See, this is the kind of stuff that keeps us divided as a society. White America, black America, everybody should come together when there's visual evidence. You bringing up the fact that Castile got stopped about 50 times, traffic violation. What the hell that got to do with the officer shooting him with his 4-year-old child in the back? What's that got to do with it? Nothing. Wish I could talk about Kevin Durant, because let me tell you something. I might have a problem with Kevin Durant going to the Golden State Warriors. It's the only problem. Good dude. Don't know how he feels about me. Don't care. He ain't got to like me. I'm not here to be liked. Give a damn. I went on vacation. Not a damn NBA player was with me. We ain't going to meet for Thanksgiving dinner. We ain't going to exchange Christmas. Don't give a damn. I got y'all. My listeners. My viewers. I'm good. But Kevin Durant's a damn good kid or a young man. Don't get in trouble. Don't find himself messing up. Plays like a superstar, performs like one. Nothing but love and respect for that young brother. I just don't think he should have gone to Golden State. And by the way, speaking of trouble, Draymond Green, I hate bringing this up because I love him, but Draymond Green got arrested on assault charges last night. I believe it was in Flint, Michigan. Thank goodness it didn't involve a woman. Apparently, he got in a fight with some dude. 2:30 in the morning. Not the wisest thing in the world. But thank God he didn't get into something with a woman. Thank God. Because we all know that's a no-win proposition. 888-MAD-DOG-6 is the number to call up. This 888-623-3646. Your phone calls in more in a minute with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Baby, to see things my way. I'm sorry, I just love that song. I just love it. Love it. Back to the phones. Well, to the phones we go for the first time since I've been on vacation. Let's go to Calvin in Chi-Town. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's going on, Cal? How you doing, man?
What's going on, Stephen A., my brother? I just want to touch on two things, man.
Sure, bro.
Hey, the first thing is, you're right, man. We got mad love for you. And my thing I want to touch about the Kevin Durant topic is, you're right. My thing is great champions are great competitors. And that's the point I think me and like a lot of you and like a lot of people are trying to iterate is that, you know what? I can never lose and go join somebody. Look at Dirk Nowitzki, for example. He had plenty reasons to tap out. You know, you up 2-0 in the finals and 15 points up in the game 3 and you lose the series. Next year, you got the best record in the league. You lose to AC, but he stuck it out and won. Yep. So if he won a championship, you know, it doesn't measure out because that competitiveness of him was just so great that he stuck it out.
But let's be clear about what you're saying, Cal. Because what you're pointing to is how Dirk stuck it out and stayed in Dallas. I'm saying to you that's a different argument because I don't have a problem with KD not staying in OKC. I have a problem directly with him going to the team who beat him when he was 48 minutes away from a berth to the NBA Finals, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And guess what, Cal? Do you know what no one else has brought up? I've listened to this for the last couple of weeks when I've been on vacation. Do you know what nobody has brought up?
Yes, sir.
I certainly would never imply that Kevin Durant didn't give max effort. But doesn't it particularly look bad when everybody is saying had Golden State won, he wouldn't have been able to go there because it would have looked like he's jumping on the bandwagon of a 2-time reigning champion.
Sure,
but because they lost, it looks better. Well, damn, who did they? Well, damn, you know they beat you in the conference finals.
Right.
So, in other words, losing made it easier for you to go. That's a bad look, Cal.
I agree. And that was the thing I was trying to say, Stephen A. I was just trying to say, like, okay, as many times as Dirk lost to San Antonio, he never thought about joining the Spurs just to get the ring, even though it probably could have happened.
Well, Texas is a different ball game. Somebody might have did something to him in Texas. You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, man. I mean, you just gonna get up and leave to go to the enemy within the same state? Oh, no, you can't do that. Can't do that. Only one brother can do that and get away with it. That's somebody like Steven Jackson, because he crazy. That's my man.
Oh, okay, I agree with you on
That's
that.
my man. But there's only one person that can get away with something like that. Nobody else can pull that off. But I appreciate it, Cal. Thank you for the call, bro. Let's go to Edwin in Houston. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Edwin, good afternoon.
Hey, welcome back, Stephen A. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Talk to me.
I really want to talk to you real quick because I felt your pain also too throughout the week and what happened. But I'm gonna take another angle about what happened. I just want to say, for those brothers, sister, black, white, Latino, please do us a favor. For people, especially like you, that are hardworking man, stand up guy, and look everything you do. Please do us a favor and don't put yourself in certain situations. Because it's like the predator and the prey out there right now. And sometimes I think we can do better and not put us so close to the predator. Like, some of these cops out there, we just need to do better. Because when I think about what happened before all that, this gentleman, is selling CDs armed outside a corner store. I'm a commercial driver. I'm out here working every night. I mean, why can't we just go ahead and have a job, a little better life? Why are we out there putting ourselves in cornered arms? You know what's that?
Whoa. I get where you're coming from, but sometimes people got to hustle the way they got to hustle because they're dire straits of what they are. I'm not going to listen. I ask myself the same question, but I'm not looking at him. I'm looking at our system. I'm looking at what is widely considered the richest country in the world. Yet we have, prevalent unemployment and things of that nature. And we have so many of the troubles that we have. That's when I'm looking at us as a nation in regards to that he has to find himself in this situation, in a capitalistic society where you got to hustle to sell CDs, but he still should not have been shot. And that's an entirely different issue altogether. And a lot of times we spend far too much time bringing up the ancillary issues that we avoid the real prevalent issue of the moment. And that is that he was shot by a police officer in what we all deem to be unnecessarily. That's the issue.
And that's right. And I'm gonna leave you with this because I learned this in criminal justice when I study in online. But you know what's going on right now with criminal justice and these cops? These guys are getting caught with assault, battery, stealing and stuff. This is the problem with cops, that they get frustrated. The criminal justice system lets them go with a fine, couple of 2 months, they're out in the street. So these guys are working so hard to put these guys in jail. But the criminal justice system brings them back and throws them back in the street. And there comes a point where these cops are so stressful, seeing the same guys doing the same thing, back and back to a point where they're nervous and they don't know what's going to happen.
That's a good point. I know exactly what you're saying. I know exactly what you're saying. What you're saying is that, when you've got the same guys ending up back on the street and the police officer sees them, the police officer might be inclined to do something more harmful to them because they don't want them back on the street anymore and they don't believe that the criminal justice system is going to do but so much about it. I get exactly where you're coming from. Still doesn't give a police officer a right to be judge, jury, and executioner, though. That's what we have to be careful about. I appreciate the call, Edwin. Thank you so much for that. Let's go to Jeff in Texas. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Jeff, good afternoon.
Mr. Smith, I just want to say it's an honor to share a conversation with a man with such integrity and such class as yourself.
Thank you, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, I want to touch on Kevin Durant, but first, did you hear about the background of Chief David Brown and what he has been through throughout his entire career?
With his son, his brother, I forgot whom else, but he's had it hard, man. He's overcome a lot.
But if anybody can understand this situation and bring the nation together, it is him. It is unfortunate what happened in Dallas, but I want to say it's almost a blessing in disguise to have a man of such stature to be able to handle this and be the voice of the American people.
Well, the problem with it is that he's not a politician and he's not a national figure, so people can sit there and look at him and see him and gravitate to what he's saying in the moment. But they'll they'll shove it to the side soon enough. You and I both know that. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth.
Well, Mr. Smith, he is in the spotlight. He is able to speak on some of these matters. Yes, he is not a politician.
I'm saying right now. I'm saying, hold on. Jeff, I'm saying right now he is. But it won't be for long. That's the problem.
You have a point there. Now, getting to Kevin Durant, we are both old school. We come from the school of Michael Jordan beating Patrick Ewing. This is a new generation. Kevin Durant signed with this team because what team is spotlighted in the NBA every weekend on national TV? The Golden State Warriors. he went there for a marketing capability. He wants to market himself.
Can I ask you a question?
Able to put his name out first.
Hold on, Jeff. Jeff, can I put you on the spot right now and ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
What if he had joined Cleveland?
Well, that is not that team is not going to be marketed as well now as the Golden State Warriors.
You think LeBron and KD together would not have been as marketable as the Golden State Warriors?
I think it would have, but both those players have the same ability. They have this.
Go ahead. I got you. Go ahead. Make your point about Golden State. Go ahead.
Yes. Well, he put himself in a position to have the spotlight on him every single day. He could not re-sign with KC. KC's a small market. There's other teams out there. Boston's not a small market, but he brought attention to himself. That's the new generation. It's different than the old generation. He's marketing himself. I disagree with you. You're thinking about the attention. Kevin Durant don't care about that as much as he cares about wanting a ring.
My problem is that you're chasing a ring, but are you a real champion? When you jump on this bandwagon, listen, let's call it what it is. Chances are the Golden State Warriors are the two-time reigning defending champions if Draymond Green doesn't get suspended in Game 5. Draymond Green got suspended in Game 5. Andrew Bogut got hurt in Game 5. Andre Iguodala got hurt in Game 6. If none of those things happen and it's just straight up mano-a-mano in basketball, you think Cleveland was going to come back from a 3-1 deficit against Golden State? We lost you. You dropped. Oh, man. I'm sorry. JS in Ontario, Canada. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, JS?
What's up, Mad Dog? First-time caller.
Thank you.
Thank you, speaker there. I was talking about Kevin Durant. The one thing I want to say in his...
What's up with these calls dropping? Another call dropped. Man. Let's go to Robert in Oklahoma. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Robert?
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
I'm good. Talk to me. Good to talk to you, bro.
I listen to you every day. I drive one of my trucks back and forth to California. I'm on my way home to Cincinnati now. But do me a favor, my brother. We love hearing you talk. I love hearing Mike and Janelle and Mike. Hey, don't blow a blood vessel for me, brother. Keep your blood pressure down, and because you all doing a good job.
Are you ready for this, Robert? My blood pressure's always normal.
Oh, I'm glad, because I thought you was going to blow one this morning.
Yeah. It's always normal. Go ahead.
Yeah, but just keep up the good work, man. We enjoy listening to you. I love listening to you, man. Have a good day.
Thank you. Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the love. Thank you so much. Thomas in South Carolina, you're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Thomas? Good afternoon.
Stephen A.
How are you?
I'm just looking online now, and I'm seeing about Draymond Green being arrested.
I reported it. I reported it a few minutes ago.
Oh, I wasn't listening. But, my real question is regarding that. Do you think he is now confirmed the dirtiest player in the league?
No, this has nothing to do with it. You're in a a nightclub, and you get into a fight with a guy. What does that have to do with being a dirty player? That's what I thought. Keith in North Carolina, you're live with Stephen A. What's up, Keith?
Hey, what's up, Stephen A?
Talk to me, man.
First off, man, I want to say you my favorite sports guy.
I appreciate it.
You and Skip, man, I hate to see that break up. That was one of my favorite shows in the morning.
Oh, I got something coming, though. You heard the announcement today, right?
No, I missed it today.
Max Kellerman is replacing Skip.
Oh.
It's me with Max. I picked Max Kellerman to join me.
Oh, that's going to be sweet, man.
Yes, sir. We ain't going nowhere, bro. You're just going to take it up a notch.
I know it. First, I wanted to touch on the shootings that's going on.
Go ahead.
It's it seems like it's more relevant nowadays, or in the media, so to speak. It's out there a lot. So nobody really talked about the fraternity of of police, So this could be on some brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, them against everybody else type thing. And they feel like they need to take it in their hands to protect themselves or to protect their brothers.
Well, the reason why you can't go by that, Keith, is because better than 95% of police officers are law-abiding law enforcement officials who go about the business of performing their jobs very admirably. But that 5%, 4%, 3%, whatever the number is, goes rogue for whatever reason. And that's not a brotherhood or fraternity protecting one another. That's them going wrong. Where they protect one another, in my humble opinion, is that they don't talk enough when it's time to reveal the transgressions of their colleagues.
They don't out them either.
That's what I meant. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell you on that.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, Keith, take it easy, man. I appreciate the call. Let's go to Rock in North Carolina. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Rock?
Man, how's it going, Stephen A., man? Welcome back, boy. I miss you, brother. I've been holding this for a while now. Waiting for you to get back.
Appreciate you, bro. What's going on, man?
Man, I need to speak to the love doctor, man.
What? The love doctor?
Yes. I need the love doctor.
Let me get my music. Let me get my music. What's going on, Rock? What happened, man? What happened?
Stephen A., man, my girl's birthday was Saturday. Had the ring. I was going to propose and everything, man. And my ex popped up over her house, man.
Oh.
On her birthday.
Hold on. Wait. Why did the ex pop up at the house?
Because for the simple fact is, on Friday here in North Carolina, we had a real big storm. So, me and her was been dealing like years ago. But basically, I was supposed to pay for a previously bill that we had when we stayed together. So I was going to take care of that bill, so that way we would have been done. I don't have to.
All right, well, let me know. Stop right there. So she ain't show up like, oh, y'all been messing with each other behind your girl's back that you was about to propose to. It wasn't nothing like that, right?
Yeah, she mentioned that. She mentioned that to the girl. And I'm like, I'm looking
Hold
at
on.
her like,
Hold on, Rock. Was it true?
No, sir.
Oh, she lied on you?
Yes, because like I say, me and her have been dealing for like 16 years, on and off.
You and the ex?
You know me.
You and the ex?
Yeah, me and the ex.
All right, so how long have you been with this girl and just her?
I know her since she was 16, so I've been messing with her for maybe like 4 or 5 years now.
So you haven't messed with the ex in that 4 or 5 year span, right?
Yes.
All right, so what's the problem? Because I don't hear a problem yet.
Okay, well the problem is this: when she came to her house, I'm in that sleep. She come wake me up, telling me your friend outside. I'm like, who are you talking about? She talking about, yeah, you owe her money. She want her money. So I'm just like, oh Lord, here we go. And all of a sudden, so I was like, man, I don't have time for this because I'm a no drama free type dude. So I'm like, I ain't got time for this. I was just about to, handle that situation outside, and I was going to leave. She tells me, if you leave, don't come back. So I was like, okay, then, I ain't going nowhere. I'm going to stay away this house. We're going to both go outside together. We're going to handle this. So she goes on and tell her all this and this and this and this. Right. Like, I want my money. And that was it.
So what's the problem? You asked for the love doctor. What you need the love doctor for?
The problem is, Stephen A., I done went and got this ring. I done took the ring back. I'm about to go upgrade this ring, baby, because I want my baby back, Steve.
Hold on, wait a minute. But you didn't lose your baby.
She told, pretty much she summed everything up for me, talking about she can't trust us on hold.
Listen,
everything.
Listen, you let me tell you, relax. This is an easy fix, bro. This is an easy fix. You panicking. First of all, you've been with her for 4 or 5 years. She believed the girl showed up because you and the girl got a history that involved her. Because while you was busy sleeping in the back room, the girl was doing something. It could be verbiage, it could be body language, it could be anything. She was doing something to let your present girl know that there was something shady about you because she wanted to mess up your game, because she just used the bill and the money that you owe her as an excuse to mess up your joint because she ain't happy in misery love company. Your girl is reacting because she's just your girl. She don't have a ring. She don't know about the ring you got for her. I promise you, you show up this weekend, you tell her, you literally look at her and say, I'm not losing you. You don't understand what's going on. You look that girl in the face. I don't want that girl. I ain't been with that girl. All I want is you. Let's talk about it. She gonna make the time. And when she make that time, you take her someplace nice and quiet, someplace you know she will like. You get out, you get down on that one knee, bro, and you open that ring. And I promise you, your girl gonna be there. You can book it. You can book it. You ain't gonna lose your girl. You ain't gonna lose your girl. Because when you present that ring to her, in the immediate aftermath of letting her know, not only have you not been with your ex, you don't want your ex, you want her, and you are willing to validate that with the ultimate show of love, which is that ring, I promise you, she ain't going nowhere. Rock, you ain't even present me with a problem. That's the easiest question the love doctor received all year. You ain't got nothing to worry about. You ain't got nothing to worry about.
Man, I thank you, Steve. Man, I thank you.
You ain't got nothing to worry about. Now get on out of here. I'm the love doctor. See you later, Rock. For those of y'all that don't know, I stole that from the show Martin, because Martin Lawrence is one of my all-time favorite comedians. And there's an episode with the love doctor. He was doing the love doctor thing, and then it got messed up because Pam had hooked up with Tommy on the show. You understand it? So they were losing their mind, but it's one of the most hilarious episodes you could ever see. So there's the love doctor, and Martin was the love doctor there, so I stole that from him. That's why you hear people calling up asking for the love doctor. My advice is serious, but the name of the segment and the name of the love doctor I stole from him because I got love for him. It's all love, baby. It's all love. Hour number 2 up next with Stephen A. Sirius XM.
The hardest hitters in MMA.
I want to pass it off to the namesake for the channel, Christopher Mad Dog Russo, right here on Sirius XM. Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82, 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. Before I get back to your phone calls, one other basketball item I felt compelled to bring up was the departure of Dwayne Wade from Miami in South Beach. It was devastating for me. See, unlike Kevin Durant leaving OKC to go to the Golden State, I don't give a damn about that. I very much give a damn about Dwayne Wade leaving South Beach. And it is for absolutely personal reasons. I love South Beach. It might be my most favorite place to go in the United States. I love going to Miami for a game, and I see no reason why I'm going to go there this year. Pat Riley is a winner. Andy Ellsberg, my man Tim Donovan, is one of the best people I've ever known in this profession as their media relations guy. We go back many, many years. I love him like a brother. Rob Wilson, too. But, I mean, you need players. And when I look at the Miami Heat, here's the conclusion that I reached upon Dwayne Wade's departure. 2 things. Number 1, Dwayne Wade really didn't want to go. He felt compelled to because he felt disrespected by a man he loves and respects and reveres in some respects, in Pat Riley. But one he ultimately didn't feel appreciated enough by. The other thing that I peel from that scenario is that Pat Riley, the great Pat Riley, somebody I admire and respect and to some degree revere, looks very, very bad. Over the last 2 years, Pat Riley has watched Dwayne Wade and LeBron James walk out the door. The way things are going with him and Chris Bosh because the Heat won't allow Chris Bosh to play due to his health ailment, and Chris Bosh is against that. Chris Bosh damn near wishes he probably want to walk out the door because of what's transpiring. And here's how you got to look at it. Understand something, that the Miami Heat have an entirely different perspective. And they will swear they don't nickel and dime you. And they deserve the benefit of the doubt because Mickey Harrison is a great owner and a great person. His son, Nick, is a wonderful dude. Nick's wife is special, too. She's good people. She's gorgeous. I love her. Andy Ellsberg's first class. Alonzo, first class. Everything about Miami, in my estimation, is first class in terms of that organization. Here's the problem. Pat Riley's the man. So much so that he appears to want to remind you of it all the time. When LeBron James was there, LeBron James never felt that embraced, according to LeBron James and people close to him. Whether it's family, friends, or little perks that he thought he should have that once existed that ultimately were eradicated upon his arrival, he didn't feel as loved as he wanted to feel. And said, what the hell, I might as well go home. So he leaves. And once he leaves, everything falls. But I will tell you this. Losing Dwayne Wade is the most devastating blow of Pat Riley's tenure as an executive. Even more devastating as LeBron James. Because LeBron is a talent that ultimately wasn't family, that wanted to be family somewhere else. Dwayne Wade's family. Dwayne Wade's a Miami Heat. You know how many times I was told there's no way on earth that Dwayne Wade would ever leave Miami? Pat Riley assumed that too. Now, you have some people that believe it's like the reverse Godfather thing going on, where Miami gave Dwayne Wade an offer he could refuse because they really wanted him to leave. They just don't want to admit it. I don't believe that. I believe they may not want to pay him what he wanted, but they didn't want to lose him. You don't want to lose somebody that's synonymous with the franchise. You don't want to do that. I don't see that. Here's what the deal is. Dwayne Wade, over the years, sacrificed approximately $25 million plus. So to facilitate Miami not triggering luxury taxes, Miami keeping players they wanted to keep, etc. They will tell you in hindsight they never asked him to do that. He volunteered, and that he more than made up for it with endorsement deals. His whole point is, look what I was willing to do for the franchise. What about me? Last year they came in with a 2-year, $30 million deal, wanted him to make $10 million his second year. He said, hell with that. I'm going to take 1 year, $20 million, and I'm going to bet on myself. He did that. Not only looked like an all-star, but played like an all-star and looked 3 years younger. And so he said, now I want money. I want $50 to $60 million. Under normal circumstances, I don't blame Pat Riley if he didn't want to pay those dollars. But when the cap went up damn near $20 million, and you're seeing guys like Timothy Mozgov get $64 million, and Luol Deng, who was second fiddle to Dwayne Wade in Miami, getting $72 million from the Lakers, and Mike Conley getting $153 million from Memphis, and Courtney Lee getting $50 million from the Knicks, you can't find $50 to $60 million for Dwayne Wade? How is that possible? And oh, by the way, Hassan Whiteside plays for the Miami Heat, free agent. You give him 4 years, $98 million, but he's prepared to shove aside $4 million in the event that they can get Kevin Durant, because they want to get Kevin Durant to South Beach. But that same $4 million that you had available for Kevin Durant, if he wanted to come to South Beach, once he decides to go to the Golden State Warriors, you don't have it for Dwayne Wade? How is that possible? How is it possible that you didn't want to move for $41 million? How is it possible that you lost Dwayne Wade because you didn't want to give him the $4 million? $4 million? Really? See, that's where this stuff stinks. It makes no sense. Because if there's anybody that's worth it, it's a 3-time champion and a perennial all-star and an NBA Finals MVP and a future Hall of Famer for your franchise and his entire 13-year career spent with your franchise. If anybody deserved it, Pat Riley, it was him. I'm not trying to get on Pat Riley. I think he's an exceptional executive, just like he was an exceptional coach. He's an exceptional winner. Personally, I love the man. He doesn't deserve to be condemned and treated like he don't know what he's doing and all this other stuff. No. It's just that he messed up with D. Wade. A little bit with LeBron James. A lot with D. Wade. D. Wade was family. Pat Riley preaches family and loyalty and all of that other stuff. They might have got upset with D. Wade on social media with his son talking about B better have my money and all of this other stuff. But at the end of the day, your relationship is too deep. It goes back too far. It goes back too far for you to make that kind of mistake. And I got news for you. If D-Wade were with the Miami Heat and Chris Bosh came back healthy, Miami would be meeting Cleveland in the conference finals, just like they would have last year had Chris Bosh not gone down. They would have beat Toronto. You just look at Pat Riley and you're like, damn, I expected more from you. You're Pat Riley. I expected more from you. You're Pat Riley. But wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be. And I think they'll both regret it. I think in hindsight, Pat Riley, look at this as a very, very dark day. And Dwayne Wade, you can talk about going home all you want to. You've been in South Beach all of these years. It's cold in September in Chicago. Don't get me started with October and beyond. You leaving South Beach for that? For a team where it's Jimmy Butler and Rajon Rondo and that's it? What, you gonna give me Taj Gibson? And McDermott? Really? Good luck. I don't see Chicago being that relevant this year. They might be able to make the playoffs because of Butler and Wade. And Rondo could play too. I love Rondo. Got to know Rondo a little bit over the NBA Finals, man. Smart dude. I'm just saying. 888 Mad Dog 888-623-3646. More of the Stephen A. Smith Show in a minute on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM, Channel 82. 15 minutes past hour number 2, back in the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Let's get back to the phones at 888 Mad Dog 6. It's 888-623-3646. Forgive me if I'm a bit rusty on the information. Other than the NBA free agency, I haven't followed too many things because I was on vacation. And I'm talking about I really took some time off because I needed it desperately. But I'm sure y'all will bring me back up to speed, and I'll do it myself eventually before the week is out. I can promise you that. Let's go to Warrior in Texas. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Warrior, what's up, baby?
Hey, Stephen A., I got to tell you something. I don't know what your job description is, but it's to invoke passion in your listeners and to get them in trouble and have them miss clients because they're in the car listening to you, waiting till you finish your point. Well, you hit it. You remind me, you invoke what Jimmy Valvano said about in a day, if you can be mad, you can be angry, and you can be cry, you've had a pretty good day. Well, Stephen A. Smith, you do that to me quite a bit. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful manner.
I didn't take it in a disrespectful way at all, sir. Not at all. I understand what you're saying.
You piqued my interest. But I do have something to say. You got on Kevin Durant for taking the easy way out. Look, you lost Skip Bayless. And I used to love it because you would beat up Skip Bayless. I don't think he ever won a counterpoint with you in 5 years. But then you took the easy way out, too. You go get Max Kellerman. I love him, but he's going to be taking about 95 standing 8 counts per show. For how many you got to put a guy out? Well, he's a great guy, a great boxing guy, but I just think you're going to kill that poor guy, and it's not fair. That's like the USA.
Well, First of all, I think Max Kellerman is smart, pretty damn brilliant, particularly when it comes to boxing. He's strong with his opinions. He's not scared to come at me, and I absolutely positively welcome that, and I welcome him to the show. He was handpicked by me. That's number one. Number two, most people who go up against me receive a standing 8 count, Warrior, with the exception of my man Carlton in Massachusetts, because he's the man. But usually, most people suffer. You also got to remember, it's very, very, it can't be compared because Skip left. He left. He's getting more money. Great opportunity for him. I wish him nothing but the best. He's my brother from another mother. We'll always be tight forever and a day. I love him dearly, and it was an opportunity. And, being 64, 65 years of age, he worked his tail off to get to this point. He deserved it, and I was happy to help him get there. I hope somebody helps me get there when I'm in my 60s. But it's a new day, and I think First Take is going to be just as good, if not better than ever. I'm going to bring the rain. It's going to be what it is, and we're going to go from there. But it doesn't compare to KD because you got to remember, KD, I can assure you Skip ain't leaving for better pastures. Because as much as I respect the hell out of Fox, they ain't us. That's number one. And number two, when you look at KD going to the Warriors, they beat you. And you're joining them. It's not that he left OKC. I have no problem with that. It's that he's joining the team that beat him. That is what I consider to be very, very weak.
in reference to Fox, if I could quote the great Tupac, they ain't us, they never can be us. And that's Bad Boy against Death Row. But
well, actually, I don't believe that. I believe they could be us if I was there.
Oh, you know what? That's a good attitude. I would go pay-per-view to watch you go 10 rounds of Brian Scalabrine. Now, you might beat him in knowledge, but sometimes the white mama, he really think he's right no matter how did wrong he is.
He can think he's right. He can think he's right all the way. I actually, I disagree with Scalabrine and some of his takes on Mark Jackson, but I actually genuinely like Brian Scalabrine. I mean, I think he does get fiery. He is passionate, and he is knowledgeable. He's not stupid by any stretch of the imagination. I like Brian. I like Brian a lot.
He's a good marketeer. Hey, listen, a quick point, though, on the Warriors, and then I'm out of here. I appreciate the time. Dude, I love you. I fought to get you there for a long time. But, hey, listen, at the end of the day, I want to take issue with my man, Steph Curry. Now, listen, unlike Carmelo and those guys, he can't go back to the ghetto because he's never been to the ghetto. But for him to have, in his position, to have a camp and charge these kids $2,500 a piece in Hawaii, it kind of hurts me a little bit when I see guys like Melo. And listen, I don't like Carmelo. I'm a Warrior fan through and through. But at the end of the day, I got to respect guys like Carmelo and other athletes that go back and give to the community, not somebody who runs off to Hawaii when he's making millions of dollars and charges $2,500 per week.
Well, Warrior, let me say this. First of all, I didn't know that. I totally agree with you if that's the case, because I don't like that at all. But I will say this. What if you charge the money to a bunch of rich families who could afford it and you donate it to charity and match it?
You know what? You can give money to charity all you want.
No. Listen to Warrior. Listen to what I said. What if you got the money from affluent families who could afford the camp and you matched whatever their donation was?
Oh, that would be awesome, but
that's what I'm saying. We don't know that. We don't know that he's not doing that.
Warrior, if you was with Gary Payton and the rest of them guys in the streets of Oakland or whatever street you want to go to and give a camp on the streets of Brooklyn,
but how do you know he's not?
Any of the parks.
Hold on, wait. You don't know that he's not doing that. It's a long summer. You don't know that.
It is a long summer, but you know what? Every NBA team never lets a good deed go without a press conference or a selfie.
That's not true. That's not true. There's plenty of dudes and teams, and I appreciate the call, Warrior. Thank you so much. Have a good day. But there's plenty of players and teams, their respective teams, that don't publicize what they do from a charitable standpoint. That's inaccurate. That's just false. By the way, let me take a moment to give major props to a guy by the name of Tim Duncan, a person that was a 5-time champion, a perennial all-star, a surefire first ballot future Hall of Famer, the absolute greatest power forward in the history of basketball. Quiet, non-assuming, no braggadocio attached to him, nothing. Tim Duncan, the former number 1 overall pick in 1997, has retired from the game of basketball after 19 years in the NBA. Do y'all know that Tim Duncan never won less than 60% of his games in any season in the pros? The only season where he didn't win at least 50 games was the lockout shortened season where the season was only 50 games. And that year they went 37-13 and won the title. I mean, you talk about a special brother. Even when another lockout came and there was only 66 games in the season, Tim Duncan went 50-16. I mean, just one of the classiest, best human beings you could possibly ever meet. Tim Duncan's a wonderful, wonderful brother. An incredible tribute to the game of basketball. Adam Shine did a fabulous interview with my man Malik Rose, his former teammate in San Antonio, based out of Philly, started Drexel years ago. Malik Rose did a great job chronicling for Adam Shine all that Tim Duncan meant to San Antonio and why, not to mention Greg Popovich, the great Greg Popovich. I'm glad Tim Duncan's retiring. And you know what makes it so wonderful? I watched him during the playoffs and I was like, my God, he has nothing left. He has nothing left. This is getting sad. And then he shows up in Game 6, and he's more reliable than LaMarcus Aldridge at that point. Can't say enough about him. A true warrior, true champion, true treasure to the basketball community. We've lost a great one today in Tim Duncan. God bless him. Just the best. Just the best. Marie in San Antonio, you're live with Stephen A. Hey, Marie.
Hello, Stephen A. I want you to know that I'm a big fan of yours. I listen to you all the time on First Take, and now I'm listening to you on the radio. And by the way, I'm inside a car wash listening to you, but before I even complained about you not mentioning about Tim Duncan, there you go. You've already done it. You were a step ahead of me, as usual. But first of all, Matt Potts, talking about the police shootings, I agree with you 100%. I think you have a great mind, about 90% of the time, but I agree with you most of the time. But I do have a question. Don't you think Durant would have been a better fit for San Antonio versus Golden State?
Absolutely. I've been on a record saying that. Anybody but Golden State. I think he would have been perfect for San Antonio. Absolutely.
Yep. I also believe that maybe Duncan may have probably stayed one more year if Durant would have signed on with San Antonio.
You know what? I don't think so. I don't think that was about it. I think Tim Duncan retired because he knew he didn't have much left. There were times during last season when his knees were so bandaged up, he looked like he could barely get off the floor. He was done, Marie. And when it's your time, it's your time. And that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. At least he went out with a contender instead of Kobe, sticking it out for those sorry, pathetic Lakers. Tell you that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Marie, thank you. I've got to run, but thank you so much for the call. I appreciate it, okay? Thank you. Let's go to Carlton in Massachusetts. I knew my man would call up. What's up, Big Tom? How are you?
I'm well. Are you refreshed from your vacation?
Yes, I am, man. It was good to get away. I got to confess, man, I've never been, at the end of the finals, I haven't been that tired in my career. I was exhausted. I really, really was. I couldn't wait to get on vacation.
Kellerman looks confident. He looks fit. He's going to be training hard in the next couple of weeks, So I do wonder if being in L.A., though, softened him up. And, he's going to have to get in the ring against the Hurricane.
Well, he'll bring it, not only because he has the capability to do so, but it's what I require. I don't want to sit around across from somebody that doesn't come at me. That's boring.
Exactly.
I don't want that.
No, nobody wants that.
That's right. I want him to come at me. Good luck. Good luck. So. Good luck, but I want him to do it.
Yeah. Now, that said, I need the Love Doctor to get on the phone with Elway and Von Miller, and also with Mike McCagnon and Muhammad Wilkerson, and maybe also Ryan Fitzpatrick. Friday at 4 p.m., these guys that are on franchise tags, and of course Fitz isn't, but Wilkerson and Von Miller are, can only sign the one-year deals, and Miller said he's not playing for it. So it could get interesting later on this week.
Well, I think Von Miller would make a mistake doing that. I really, really do. You're playing for the...
Do you think he will sit out if they don't sign?
Listen, he probably might. See, my thing is this. I forgot who it was. Forgive me if I'm just brain fogged right now because I've been on vacation for so long. But somebody came along and got, I think it was for the Eagles, in excess of about $55 million in guaranteed dollars. And Von Miller.
Are you thinking of Vernon on the Giants, maybe?
No. I'm talking about the Eagles. I specifically remember it was the Eagles, and he got about $55 million in guarantees, and Von Miller only got about 38 to 40. Well, Elway's got to come up. Von Miller deserves more than that in guaranteed dollars, and you got to figure out a way to get it to him. It's just that simple to me. Fletcher Cox.
Okay.
Von Miller's got to get more. Von Miller's got to get more than 38 to 40 million in guaranteed dollars. I think he deserves it, Carlton, don't you?
I always question whether these crazy max deals are worth it for the team. I understand that's the market, and I don't fault the players for trying to get it. But sometimes I think it can, it doesn't it's not necessarily in the best interest of the teams. In some cases, lots of times these guys sign these crazy deals and then they fall off the map the next couple of years. Look at was it Williams there at the Bills?
Here's the problem. That's applicable to guys who don't deliver. When you have someone who delivers, particularly is an expert at getting at the passer, and he's fresh off delivering you a Super Bowl title, you got to take a chance if you're Elway and take care of him.
Yeah. Well, the Jets need to sign Wilkerson to a deal exactly like Fletcher Cox's deal. Do you know his cap hit? Fletcher Cox's cap hit is only $7.7 million in 2016.
Yep.
So if the Jets could pull that off with Wilkerson, they would free up some cap space that they could actually sign Fitzpatrick. Because right now they have exactly zero.
Let me read to you the guaranteed dollars of Fletcher Cox, just so you know, okay?
Yep.
The deal is worth $103 million.
Yep.
$63 million is guaranteed. $36.299 million was fully guaranteed at the signing, with another $19.25 million in guaranteed kicks in March 2017, and another $7.75 million in guaranteed kicks in March of 2018. So Fletcher Cox deserves all of that, but Von Miller doesn't deserve for Elway to at least come up to the halfway point between 63 and 39?
Well, the 63, he'll get it as long as he doesn't get hurt. Those guarantees in the future years will get paid.
But that's the whole
point. I agree Von Miller deserves it. I also think that, they structured that deal with Cox so that his base salary this year is only $1.3 million.
Correct.
And that's why his cap is that low. That is what both the Broncos and the Jets really, really need, because both of them are right up against the cap. And if either team structured a deal like that, I'd be much more confident that my guy is going to be playing for one of those teams this fall, So I hope they both get done this week.
We'll see. We'll see. And by the way, I'll expect you to call back when I get into the Deflategate and that stuff later on this week, all right? Make sure you're listening in.
Oh, I definitely will be.
All right, buddy. Thanks a lot. 888 Mad Dog 6 is 888-623-3646. Let's go to Daryl in Chicago. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Daryl? How are you?
How you doing, Stephen A?
I'm good. Talk to me.
I had a comment on the solution to the police brutality.
Go ahead, man.
And so I really think there's three things that need to be done. I think, first off, the good cops should step up and, call out the bad cops and when they're doing bad work. I also think that you have to stop as a police force, policing the revenue, which is like, pulling people over just to collect tickets and, fun.
My man, you all over the place. I need you to make your points better than that because my listeners are listening to you, and there's no reason for them to continue. You got to be clear and to the point. Break it down. Say what you got to say, bro.
Okay. So what I mean by policing the revenue is basically that when police pull people over and get tickets and stuff, they assume that black people will have these debts and tickets and stuff like that.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
I mean, that's just one reason.
One reason for what?
To solve the police.
Nah, Daryl. It ain't that simple. It ain't that simple because the fact of the matter is a lot of times, you usually hear those excuses after the fact. Somebody ends up getting shot. Somebody ends up getting killed. And then all of a sudden you hear the media reporting about what the background record, what their track record was, not taking into account the fact that the police didn't know that at the time they did what they did. And we ain't talking about all police officers. Because we know that most police officers are proven to being very law-abiding citizens out there doing their job to the best of their ability, protecting and serving the community. We ain't talking about most. 95% of them I'd say we're not talking about. But it's that potential 5% tainting the many. And police officers have to step up and call out their own to contribute to a resolution. It's almost similar to racism and how it purged and sullied our society. Well, what happened? In the 60s, when you saw blacks marching during the civil rights movement, you also saw whites doing the same. And it was white people willing to speak out against other white folks, assisting black folks that helped facilitate and provoke change. Let us not forget that. 888 Mad Dog 6 is always the number to call up. That's 888-623-3646. More of your phone calls in a minute with Stephen A. on Mad Dog.
Mad Dog Sports Radio. Stephen A. Smith Show.
35 minutes past hour number 2. Back in the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Let's go back to the phones. Jack in San Antonio, you're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Jack, talk to me.
What's up, Stephen A?
How are you, sir?
I'm great. Listen, I love your show, First Take. I'm one of those people that watch it when it comes on at 9 o'clock. I watch it again at 1 when it comes back on again at 12. But here's 3 things real quick, okay? Real quick. Westbrook is going to stay in Oklahoma City. He's going to get a big contract. He's going to stay. He'll give him the help. This season is pretty much a wash, I believe, but he's going to stay. Second thing is, I want you to tell me, I'm old school like you. I like the way you dress. I even like the way Skip Bayless dress, okay? I need to know from your opinion, when you see these cats, and I'm talking loud because I'm in the car, when you see these cats with these suits on that are so tight, they look like they're wearing spandex. And I know the style changes from year to year, day to day, guy to guy. But you got these guys, these big old monsters. I saw Dwayne Wade on Kelly the other day. He looked like he had on leotard. Tell me what you think the dress code is going to for these players, and should somebody, why don't you start your own suit business and make $1 billion? So these guys really need to be taught.
Well, listen. Everybody's got their own style. I can have my own suit line. You think Russell Westbrook buying it? You see the stuff he wears? I mean, everybody's got their own taste. Everybody's got their own taste. What I would tell you is celebrate all of it. Here's why. Anybody who's putting forth an effort is trying to elevate their level of style. Now, different strokes for different folks. Some folks might like it, some folks may not. But what's undeniable in all of it is the fact that you got guys striving to do what they need to do. And that's the most important thing that you simply cannot forget. It's very, very important.
Yeah, but it's so tight.
It doesn't matter. That's your Jack, that's your taste. That's not what you like. I run into a lot of women that like tighter fits on dudes. Some women can't stand it. I saw D Wade. Remember when he showed up in that press conference years ago with that pink stuff on? It drove Gabrielle Union crazy. She still married him, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
See what I'm saying? All right, so let's understand that. What's your next point?
The next point was your fit about Kevin Durant. Should have been in San Antonio. Kind of took a backdoor situation right there. And I don't believe, trust me, between Westbrook and LaMarcus Aldridge and these boys, I don't think they're going to get back to the East Western Conference. I don't believe that Golden State will be there. I do not.
Okay.
I do not.
All right, man. I appreciate the call, buddy. Thank you so much. Let's go to Tony in Seattle. You're live with Stephen A. and Mad Dog. What's up, Tony?
Hi, Stephen A. How you doing, man?
I'm good.
Really
Talk to me.
appreciate the show.
Thank you.
Hey, so I just wanted to talk about the police brutality, and the caller that you had a couple calls before was trying to hit on some things. But my biggest thing is too, and I hope that people understand me on this one is, first it starts in our own community. We have to do a better job of managing ourselves as black people. And I think when we go into our communities, there's videos all over social media where my dad was law enforcement, and he always told me, he's like, look, you yes, sir, you no, sir. There's a way that when I get pulled over, that I present myself every time. And we have to keep ourselves out of these situations, because from 1958 to where we are today, there are the same type of cops that are doing these things, and we keep banging our head against the wall, acting like something's different,
Well, listen, but what I'm saying is this. There is no doubt that collectively, as a people, we have to come together and do things differently and do things better. We all know that. But the flip side is we can't allow folks within the law enforcement community to act like that's a license to get over on murdering us. Now, that's not the case in most instances. We understand that. We understand that most cops are protecting and serving us to the best of their ability and are law-abiding citizens. And nobody's denying that. But the fact is there have been too many incidences that have come up throughout generations that have caused the kind of uproar. I ran them off earlier in the show. Riots in Newark and Camden, in Baltimore and Ferguson, Missouri, and, in L.A. riots. The list goes on and on. What do they all have in common? Police brutality and people being fed up with the actions and the transgressions of law enforcement officials. So that says something.
I 100% agree with you. The way to me that we curb this is by, one, these officers need to go to jail. They need to lose their job, not send them on a 30-day, 60-day vacation. They need to go to jail. And honestly, you take that oath as an officer, just like you would take that same oath when you go into our U.S. Air Force or National Guard or whatever the case may be. you take that oath to serve and protect, it has to mean something. That means you are held to a higher standard than you or I are as a.
Well, listen, I can't. I don't want to spend too much because I don't want to get this too complicated because we've got listeners to be, to cater to. But in the end, when it comes down to, and I appreciate the call, Tony. Let's talk about this at a later date. But here's what it really, really comes down to. In the end, what it comes down to is law enforcement officials. Somebody there needs to explain to us how is it that some white folks can do the same thing that black folks are doing and they end up alive and arrested, while black folks ending up dead? How is it that you're an Uber driver in Michigan and you shoot 5 or 6 people and they arrest you? How is it that you murder 9 people in South Carolina and they arrest you and somehow stop at Burger King and give you a burger or something on the way to prison? But Philando Castile is dead. And Alden Sterling is dead. How is that possible? Antonio in Indiana, you're live with Stephen A. Amanda. What's up?
I kind of wanted to know about the landscape of the NBA with all these big names kind of joining together. Do you think the league will stay competitive in the next few years?
I don't think so. I think legitimately now there's 3 title contending teams. You can make the argument 4, but that was the case last year. Golden State, San Antonio, Clippers, Cleveland. And you know what? Listen, I love the evil empire syndrome. I love, looking at guys and it's like, all right, everybody's shooting for them. Let's take them down. I love that. Nothing about that bothers me. But when you got a team loaded like Golden State, and you got somebody like Kevin Durant who lost to them in the conference finals and then gets up and joins them, to me, that's problematic. It just is.
I got one more thing. I feel like the salary cap situation was handled wrong, and it should have taken kind of an economies of scale, boosting everyone's salary. It might not be feasible with giving everyone an extension, but, signing these players like Parson Chandler to these lucrative deals, that's going to affect all the other players on the team.
So we'll see. We'll see. You might be right. But time will tell, because we certainly don't know that right now. But I appreciate the call. Thank you so much. Let's go to Chris in Chi-Town. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. What's up, Chris?
How you doing?
Talk to me.
Thanks for taking my call.
Yep.
Yeah, so I just wanted to make a quick point about how I believe we could solve some of the issues of police brutality.
Yep.
I just think, it's just very easy for police to become police officers. It usually takes at least a year to become a barber, but to become a cop, you become a cop maybe in 6 months. And I just think that, with more education, more pay, more psychological training, things like that, that we could curb a lot of the violence. If they know they have more to lose, they have more education, they would do better, they would try harder. And that's, not that they don't do a great job as it is. I know plenty of cops, but they're just like me. They're people, but they may know as much as me or as less. So it's like, I just think they hold such a high position in our society that they should get paid more and should know more than the average Joe.
Well, listen, we have no doubt cops, firefighters, our military, and definitely our teachers should all be paid more. But the fact of the matter is the money makers go, money goes to the money makers, as they say. If you are a revenue generator, you deserve more than those who don't generate revenue. And when you're thinking about teachers, you think about police officers, you think about firefighters, on the face of it, because of how significant their profession is and the risk that they take, etc., they deserve it. But let me give you an example, Chris. Do you know the difference between a football player and a cop? Are you ready for this?
Everybody knows.
No. The police officer puts his life in grave danger.
Yeah.
A football player puts their health in grave danger. The difference is 60, 70 to 100,000 people are coming to watch them do it. Ain't nobody coming to watch the cops. So you're in a revenue generator, and you don't get paid like that. That's the reality in a capitalistic society.
Yeah.
And you can't get around it. Gotta go, Chris. Appreciate the call, bro. 888 Mad Dog 888-623-3646. We'll close out the show with your phone calls in a minute. It's Stephen A. on Mad Dog. 49 minutes past hour number 2 back in the Stephen A. Smith Show, Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. Fresh off vacation and loving every minute of it. Can't keep y'all on long, however, because I got several phone calls to get to and only a few minutes to do it, so make your points real quick and be done with it. Davidson in New York, you're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Talk to me.
Hey, good afternoon, Steve.
Good, talk to me.
I called about last month before Game 7 of the finals, and you got at me because I thought Golden State was going to win. But one thing I want to say is I feel like it should be brought up. It's about my boy Steph Curry. Just about his character and his modesty. You know, coming off the subpar finals that he had, to allow another superstar to come on your team and share some of that spotlight with you. I believe he was even at the meeting when the Warriors were trying to recruit Durant.
That's true, but y'all got to be kidding me. Who the hell would want to turn down Kevin Durant as a teammate? I mean, would you want to give him a cookie?
Nah, but I feel like not. Do you feel like other superstars would want to do that as well?
I don't think there's any superstar in this business that would turn down to Kevin Durant as a teammate. He's 6'11" with a 7'6" wingspan and can pull up from 30, and he's as unselfish as they come. Kevin Durant is not a selfish player. Who wouldn't want him? It's not like you're asking Russell Westbrook or Kobe or somebody who you know is going to look to jack up shots. Now, this is Kevin Durant. They had to make Kevin Durant shoot sometimes.
Stephen A., before I let you go, I feel like you should do more of those Love Doctor segments. I was rolling earlier.
If people call me, I'll do them. I'm always here. The Love Doctor's always here, Davidson. Appreciate the call, man. Kim in Kentucky, you're live with Stephen A. Kim, how are you? Good afternoon.
Hi, I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Okay, I wanted to call you and talk to you about the senseless killings by the cops.
Go ahead.
Okay, my thing of it is it's never going to stop until the cops are held liable for what they did. A murder is a murder, no matter how it comes. And I'm not saying that all cops are bad.
Well, I got news for you, Kim. I think it's worse when it's a cop, because a cop is pledged and sworn under oath to protect and serve. So if he's rogue and he's murdering folks unjustifiably, it's far more egregious.
Yeah, but didn't you see the videos that are going viral on like Facebook and YouTube and all them things? That's murder.
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you, Kim. I'm saying that can't be allowed.
Yes. Until the cops are held liable for what they do, they're going to keep right on doing it.
Well, I'll take it a step further, Kim. If cops keep getting off after killing black folks, I pray this never happens, because I don't wish that on anybody. And that black, sorry, pathetic excuse for a human being who killed those 5 police officers and shot up all of those people, he deserved to be in a special kind of hell. But I must tell you, if this situation is not addressed in terms of these cops conducting themselves in the way that they're conducting themselves, I fear Dallas won't be the last time we see an incident like that.
No, you won't. Because even as far as Coatesville, Pennsylvania, the cops harass the young black men for every and anything.
Yeah, no, well, let's not say that. There are some young black men who don't know how to act and are very disrespectful to law enforcement officials. Well, let's not sit up here and gloss over the behavior of some of our youngsters in our community. Kim, there are young black individuals that don't respect you and me.
Yeah, exactly.
And they don't treat law enforcement officials with respect either. So again, no cop, no law enforcement official has any right to murder a kid or anything like that. But let's not completely absolve or gloss over these youngsters that don't know how to act. Kim, call me back tomorrow. I'll have more time to talk about this, but can't have that. Can't gloss over that. Let's go to Douglas in New Hampshire. You're live with Stephen A. on Mad Dog. Douglas, how are you?
Good, sir. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for calling. What's up?
Good. Big fan for many years. I'm a police officer for 11 years now.
Yep.
And I agree perfectly with what you're saying. Police officers should be held to a higher level of accountability for their actions. They're trained, they're experienced, but what a lot of police officers I've noticed over the years are lacking is life experience and how they deal and speak with people they come across.
Okay. And I think you're right. I think you're right. And I appreciate you as a fellow police officer for saying that and saying that about your colleagues. Me personally, I agree with you, but I also want to say that I think that, you know, the job of a police officer is incredibly tough, and it's not made easier when you got, if you have youngsters being disrespectful. That has nothing to do with the Sterling murder, or not murder, but the Sterling death or the Castile death. But folks out there who are young, not respecting their elders, not listening to anybody, you know, listen, you got a lot of law enforcement officials, you know, with a lot going on in the world that they have to live in. And even though it's not right, you got to be mindful of that stuff and conduct yourself accordingly in an upstanding fashion so you can shield yourself from that kind of nonsense.
Absolutely. I think that every time you come across anybody that you come across, you should be treating them with respect, and maybe you'll get it back.
Yeah.
But these officers have to look out for themselves and make sure they go home, but they can't forget the number one goal of a police officer is not only to go home at nighttime, but to make sure they treat everybody they come in contact with.
That's fair.
And treat them as individuals, not as a race, not as anything like that.
That's right. Douglas, I got to run. I got your point. I appreciate it. You're absolutely right, and I thank you for making it. Phil in St. Louis, you're live with Stephen A. Real quick, Phil, go ahead.
Yeah, Steve, real quick. I know it's short time left. I think what needs to happen as far as the shootings and everything, as far as the cops, number one, they need to stop overcharging them. All right. What the problem has been is the legal system hasn't been willing to find these cops guilty of murder.
Hold on, Phil. Let's talk about that another time. This issue is about the fact that you ain't even giving stuff a chance to get to that point. You smoking them for nothing. Innocent people you're taking out. That's the problem, Phil. That's a bigger problem, and we can talk about that at a later date. But based on what happened last week, that wasn't the issue. You shot somebody for digging into their wallet for their wallet after you asked them to go get it. Had a 4-year-old child in the back, and his fiance right by his side. You had your knee. One cop had his knee on the guy's head. Another was on the guy's waist, and you still shot him 4 times. That's the problem, Phil.
Again, the point I'm trying to make is this. If these cops understand that they have something to lose, they may be able to process these situations and not resort to the...
Okay, I got it. Because, Phil, we got to run. Because I only got 10 seconds left. I hear what you're saying. But I want you to call back with that point tomorrow because I got a bigger point to make off of that. I appreciate y'all time. It's great to be back off vacation. I'll holler at you 22 hours.
The football season never ends.